February 12, 2025, a day that began like any other in sunny San Diego. The sun was shining, the air was warm, tourists and locals alike flocked to the waterfront enjoying the beauty of San Diego Bay. But at 10:15 a.m., that tranquility was shattered. A deafening roar split the air. A U.S. Navy EA-18G Growler, a powerful electronic warfare jet, was plummeting from the sky. Assigned to Electronic Attack Squadron VAQ-135 from Naval Air Station Whidbey Island, the Growler was on a routine training mission. Something went terribly wrong. The sophisticated aircraft, designed for combat missions and capable of speeds exceeding the speed of sound, was now a hurtling mass of metal. It was just seconds from disaster. The peaceful waters near Shelter Island, a haven for boaters and home to the luxurious Konakai San Diego resort, were about to become the scene of a terrifying crash. The jet, losing altitude rapidly, was on a collision course with the bay. Vacationers enjoying the view from the resort and residents going about their day looked up in disbelief. This was not a drill. This was a real-life nightmare unfolding before their eyes. The seconds ticked by with agonizing slowness. The fate of the pilots, their lives hanging in the balance, was a terrifying unknown. The people watching from below could only watch in horror, helpless to do anything but bear witness to the impending catastrophe. The roar of the failing engines grew louder, a terrifying soundtrack to the unfolding drama. Inside the cockpit, the two pilots fought for control. Training and instinct kicked in. They knew the situation was dire. Eject! 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 The order, screamed over the roar of the dying engine and the wind whipping past the cockpit, was a matter of life or death. With only precious seconds to spare, the pilots made the split-second decision to activate their ejection seats. The force of the ejection was bone-jarring, a violent expulsion from the doomed aircraft. Suddenly they were free from the plummeting jet, two tiny figures hurtling through the air against the backdrop of the blue sky, their parachutes deployed, offering a glimmer of hope against the terrifying backdrop of the falling plane. They watched as their aircraft, engulfed in a ball of fire, smashed into the water. On the water below, Captain Brandon Vietz and his crew aboard the fishing vessel Premier were startled by the deafening roar of the jet engine, followed by a chilling explosion as the plane hit the water. They immediately sprang into action, their instincts honed from years of navigating the unpredictable waters of the Pacific. Scanning the sky, they spotted the two parachutes descending towards the water. Without hesitation, Captain Vietz steered the Premier towards the downed pilots. Every second counted. It was a race against time to reach the pilots before they succumbed to the cold waters of the bay or were swept away by the current. The crew of the Premier, transformed from fishermen to rescuers, pulled the shaken but alive pilots from the water. It was like something out of a movie. One eyewitness, a tourist from Iowa vacationing at the Konakai resort, told reporters. 1 minute the sky was clear, and the next, this jet comes screaming out of nowhere, trailing smoke. Her voice trembled as she recounted the horrifying spectacle. We all watched in terror as it crashed into the water. It was like a bomb went off. Another witness, a local fisherman who had been enjoying a peaceful morning on the bay, described the chilling sound of the jet engine followed by a loud pop just before it crashed. I knew immediately that something was wrong, he said, his voice still raw with adrenaline. It was a sound I'll never forget. The dramatic scene was captured from multiple angles. Security cameras at the Konakai resort recorded the final terrifying seconds of the jet's descent, the footage showing the plane disappearing behind a building, then reappearing just moments before it slammed into the water. Vacationers and residents alike captured the horrifying event on their cell phones, the images and videos quickly going viral, spreading the news of the crash around the globe. Photos of the pilots parachuting to safety, taken by people on the shore and on passing boats, became iconic images of the disaster. The immediate aftermath of the crash was a scene of controlled chaos. Emergency responders, including the U.S. Coast Guard and the San Diego Fire Rescue Department, rushed to the scene, sirens wailing. The Navy dispatched helicopters and boats to secure the crash site and search for debris. The Coast Guard established a safety zone around the wreckage, warning boaters to stay clear. The Navy immediately launched an investigation into the cause of the crash. A team of experts from the Naval Safety Center arrived in San Diego to begin the painstaking process of piecing together what went wrong. The investigation will be thorough, examining every aspect of the flight, from the plane's maintenance records to the pilot's training and experience. The wreckage of the jet, once it is recovered from the bay, will be meticulously examined for clues. The black box flight recorder, if recovered, will be crucial in providing answers. This incident was eerily reminiscent of a similar crash in October 2024, when another Navy jet crashed in Washington state, tragically claiming the lives of both pilots. That crash, still under investigation, has raised concerns about the safety of these aircraft. The Navy is under intense pressure to determine the cause of this latest crash, and to take steps to prevent similar incidents from happening in the future. The pilots thankfully survived the crash and were released from the hospital after a thorough medical evaluation. They are hailed as heroes, their quick thinking and skill preventing a potential tragedy. The environmental impact of the crash, however, is still being assessed. Concerns linger about the potential for jet fuel and other hazardous materials to pollute the waters of San Diego Bay.